Good evening, everyone. This is Mike McKinnon along with Adam Flieger on your Nazareth 360 Racing Network coming to you live, bringing the Racers Elite Wednesday night Xfinity Series. We are stepping in for their normal announcer as we heard of the tragic passing of Tony Trapasso over the last day or two. We want to send prayers and good wishes and all that stuff out to the family. We're terrible, it's a terrible thing that happened, but Adam, we got a race tonight in response to this. The league's going to move through as Tony would want them to. Got 130 laps here at Kentucky, and what do you think we can expect with the 65% fuel? They only get 4 sets of tires here. We're getting along right now with the qualifying. So, Adam, what do you think we're going to see out of this race tonight?
You're going to see a lot of strategy calls. You're going to see a lot of different strategies playing out. Kentucky Kentucky's one of I like racing Kentucky. It definitely brings in the strategy game. It's not quite super speedway, but it's not quite short track racing either. So it's a nice track to race on. But I think strategy is going to be the biggest call tonight.
I got to agree with you. I know strategy's rough. Turn 1, you can go pretty hard. Turn 3 and 4, there's heavy braking zones. You got to get it woed down. Make sure you don't get loose off. It's really tough on tires. And we'll take a look here at Joshua Neal. And folks, as I go along tonight, I'll do my best to keep up with everybody. These are new guys to me. We'll have to see how it works out. Right now we got Lee Campbell on the provisional pole, 31.95. We saw as low as 31.5 in practice. So we'll see what Joshua Neal has in the 82 car. And what you'll want to see here is he'll probably want to get all the way to the apron in the qualifying run. Of course, you stay a little high right here, get a little more momentum. See what kind of lap he can put together.
Hey, it looks like it's pretty good as we're coming down to just the back stretch. That's going to take me a moment to get oriented here with the track because my vision doesn't always allow me to orient myself when it's in the first lap. So it takes me a couple laps to get oriented with the track that I'm at. But he's looking pretty good out there.
Yeah, car looks real stable. See if he drops it all the way down. He does a little bit. First lap's going to bring him in at 32.24. So provisional second. He'll make his next run here. I believe he's going to stay wide open. This is all new to me, folks. I'm hoping to get 2 laps. I know most leagues that we do, they get 2 laps. So we'll see if he uses that for momentum and see if he can pick up the pace a little bit. It does look real stable, Adam. It looks like he's, got a good handle, a little bit loose there, maybe a little high. We'll see if he can improve on his first run. He will not.
But not enough.
No, not enough. We still see Lee Campbell on the pole there, 31.73 the time. As we said, we saw as low as 31.5 in practice. And this will be Dennis Kane from Detroit, Michigan, I'm assuming. So did he finish his? He did. We just missed the finish of it there. So it's
he's got 31.93 there,
31.93. Yep, 31.93. That's going to put him third on the provisional pole at this moment.
Looking at the 15 of Kensley Smith.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my timing is going to update right here, Adam. I'll be right back here. You see Kensley here in the 15 car. See what he can do. Right now, Campbell's still on the pole at 31.73. I wish we were Fox Sports and we could track each lap, but we'll see what Kensley's doing right now. It is not wanting to update for me, so we'll just have to wait and see what we get. He's tracking pretty good. He tracked a 15.52 for the first half of the track, so if he can get through this corner well, may see a pretty good lap right here out of Kensley.
And they're all looking real stable on.
Yep. Yeah, Kensley 31.84 on the first. We'll see the tracker on this lap, see if he improves over his first time. He's just a little behind. He's about a tenth off of his first lap there. He ran a 15.6 on the first part of the track. See what he can do with that. As we're saying that, we missed McManus. He's able to put it second with the 31.79. This could be about a tenth quicker for Kinsley. Let's see. does not improve. It doesn't look like he's going to stay right there in that third position. At 31.73, looking pretty strong so far.
I'm looking to see what Brandon's got going on here. He looks pretty close here.
Yes, he does. Is this Brandon Puffenbarger right here?
Yes.
All right. We'll see what he's got. He was our fastest man in practice. Let's see if he can hold that 31.5 as he comes across his first flying lap. He's that 31.71. That puts him on provisional pole by 2/100ths of a second. So you can see this field's going to be pretty bunched up as we're only about 2/10 off for the first 7 or 8 drivers right here. Say hi to Kyle Hess. He's checking in. I'm good. I'm good, man. Feeling good right here. Hopefully we can do a good job for these guys. We're going to do our best, ladies and gentlemen. This is our first time with these guys, and we're glad we could be here. So Puppenbarger, 31.71 first time. He will not improve on the second lap. So that'll just be 2/100ths away from the pole right there. That's about as close as you're going to get, wouldn't you say, Adam?
I think it is.
Yeah, he was our fastest in practice. That was for sure. Let's see what who we got here. This Andrew Teft on the track?
This is Andrew Teft.
All right, let's see what Andrew can bring in that 98 car. Sporting a little Riley Herbst paint scheme there. Let's see what we got. He will come across, and right on the pole. There's that 5 we were looking for. 31.53, that's going to put him on the provisional pole. Not sure how many more drivers we've got left to go. It looks like Daniel Honeycutt might be on the track.
We got Alex Teft now out on track.
All right, Alex Teft coming around here. Looking to beat a 31.533. That's the time to beat. My timing and scoring at home is just not wanting to cooperate, so we're going to take it from what we got, folks. Here comes Alex. He ought to know the line. He just saw it. Running much, much higher. He'll scoot in the 9th position, 31.98. Let's see if he's just trying to gain momentum for this lap, which a lot of guys will try to do. See if they can get the momentum up, and then they'll bring it down as low as they can possibly hold on to it.
Honeycutt's playing down to 31.45.
Yeah, Daniel Honeycutt, 31.45. That's going to put him on the pole. This Alex is going to have to go. Needs to get down as low as he can.
Now we're watching the ending of Daniel Honeycutt's run here. I wonder if he's picked up a little bit of time here this second lap.
Yeah, Alex, a lot better second lap. They're probably, like I said, use a little momentum on that first lap, bring him around for the second lap. So, let's see where 72 did not improve, but 31.45, that's as strong as we have seen so far. And Mr. Looks like Damoni, you are welcome. We are happy to help out, bud. I might not be Mike Joy up here, but I'll try to make this as enjoyable as I can for everybody in a tough situation.
Well, that goes for me too. Normally, I'm not out in front of the camera like this. Normally, I'm behind them operating everything. So, just being on the outside, being in the booth announcing with you, it's just a pleasure.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you in here helping out too, Adam. Sometimes you do these by yourself. It's tough to do, but we'll try to make this as fun as we can. We got about 45 seconds here. And once again, we are the Nazareth 360 Broadcasting Network. If you haven't seen us, we're here because of a tragic loss. Mr. Tony Trapezzo passed away. He's not able to do the broadcast. We're filling in. As they say, Adam, the show must go on, as I know Tony would want it to. So we're going to bring as much excitement and fun to this end of this regular season as we can. From what I understand with the points, most of the top 12 are probably locked in unless there's a surprise tonight. But we're going to go 130 laps. These drivers are going to have 65% fuel capacity. And what that's going to mean, you're probably going to look at around 30, 31, 32 laps at most on a tank of fuel. And they've got 4 sets of tires in the pits, so strategy is going to be a big part of this race, as Adam said when we came on the air. And, of course, Kentucky is just notorious for chewing that right front off as you're going through 3 and 4. So we'll see who can save pull a little strategy, and we'll just have to see what we get. But here's your starting lineup. Starting on the front row, we got Daniel Honeycutt in that 72 on the pole. Number two man's going to be Andrew Teft in the 98. Looks like number 3, Brandon Puffenbarger. Starting number 4, the 14, Lee Campbell. Starting 5th, Alex Teft in the 43. Starting 6th, Trevor McManus in that 28. 7th is Kinsley Smith. He's going to bring you number 7 from the 15 car. Starting 8th to be Joshua Neal in the 82. Starting 9th, Dennis Kane in the 4. Starting 10th, Corey Cromwell in the 21. 11th, Aaron, looked like Marquis in the 41. And starting 12th to be Scotty Davis in the 19. And then bringing up the end of the field, we're going to see the number 13 starter of David Davis in the 3. So 13 cars take the grid tonight. We're going to surely have some great racing. I mean, we saw the time sheets. The time sheets were close. We're going to roll it off tonight. And Adam, as we said, strategy is going to be a big factor in this race, wouldn't you say?
Oh, I think it will be. And, you know, for me, I'm more of a dirt racer. I know you've raced with Nazra's series on different occasions. And I know I've had the pleasure of running one or two back when they were trying to get a Thursday night one running. But asphalt racing is so much different from what I'm used to on dirt.
Yeah, this is a total different animal here. Now, you know, it's got a few of the same aspects. You get loose, you're sawing the wheel, you're doing this, you're doing that. But this is all about, Kentucky is all about saving that tires. If you go too hard, too fast, you're going to pay the price early. I'm sure these guys know it. And like I said, 3 and 4, the seam can be a little slick. You know, it's got a very certain line. You can run a little higher as you want, but it makes it a little harder to get off the corner. So we'll see how these guys negotiate it. It should be fun as we're going to strap in for 130 laps. No stage racing as we're accustomed to. So 130 straight laps, and we're ready for Barney to put them under the green.
Yeah, pace car is off. They're coming through the restart zone now.
And Honeycutt leads them off. They get green flags in the air. Good, clean start for everybody. A little bit slow out of Teft there on the outside. Might be a little strategy. Maybe spun a little tire. We'll see where everybody can slide in here as we lead them off into turn 1 and 2 with Honeycutt in the 72 leading the way and the 5 Puffenberger right behind.
I'm seeing a lot of drivers already shuffling for positions, about trying to go 3 wide in a couple areas. How quickly do you want to try to be aggressive here in Kentucky?
Well, you want to be aggressive a little early if you can. You don't be too aggressive, as I said, a little bit. If you can get some positions now, kind of settle in, save your equipment until the tires equalize, it'll put you in a good position for later on in the race. And you're already seeing several different lines being ran here. To me, it's always been in the trucks, of course. It's hard to get momentum on the outside, but as we see here, Puffenbarger able to use that outside, carry the momentum down to get door to door with our leader, Honeycutt.
You know, we've seen that outside lane really coming together. I'm surprised that this early on in the race, we got multi-lane racing going on like we have, especially between the 5 of Brandon and the 72 of Daniel.
Yeah, racing good and clean. They understand what's at stake here. As I said, this is the end of the regular season from what I understand. Most guys are locked in, but of course they want to up their positioning. So you'll see Honeycutt, he's going to, well, I thought he was going to slide in there and get a little draft, maybe go higher, but he just got a little draft so he could swing her back to the bottom. 15 car way up high there. That's the car Smith. It seemed like that outside. It's really surprising me. Like I said, I'm sure the guys that drive the trucks, it takes a while for momentum to come up on that lane, but it's looking real good for these guys right now.
We're definitely seeing that outside. Even the middle group seems to be running just fine with keeping momentum up. The question, though, I have is, where's the tire wear at when those 2 outside groups?
Well, that's the whole thing. We'll have to wait and see how it's going to work, you know. These guys all different driving styles. Some guys can make that high line work. Some guys can't. See the 28 there of that might be Trevor McManus working his way right up into the top 4 here in the 28 machine. Good looking car. Woo, a little close there. Kinsley Smith sliding up just a bit. You see Puffenbarger, he's used that outside line. He's pulled away by over 6/10 of a second now.
Yeah, but like we've talked about, how much is he using that equipment that has been pulling away from the rest of the pack?
Yeah, that momentum's really, really strong on the high side, no doubt about it. Looks strong right there. As you see, I think that's Alex stepped into 43s, worked his way right up to 5th. Campbell working up. We're seeing Andrew Teff fall back. I think he's in that tire save mode, and I think this is where we're going to find out with this 65% fuel capacity exactly how long you can go hard. Can you go hard the whole 30 laps? Come in and get your tires, or is he going to save and then make his move here in a little bit? And I think we're starting to get our answer on that right about now.
Yeah, definitely looks like we're starting to see drivers setting their pace. And it's going to be interesting to see how their strategy plays out as the race goes on.
Yeah, we're going to find out. Like I said, we're just learning these guys, folks. I don't know a lot of the driving styles. We know the strong cars, they're in the field tonight. So we expect this to maybe get strung out a little bit, have some comers and goers, which makes a great race. And that's what we're going to have to find out. I mean, Puffenbarger, he's pulled away by another 2/10 over the last 2 laps. So he's not leaving anything on the table here. As maybe Honeycutt managing his stuff a little better. We'll see if he's able to reel him in the next, I would say, 15, 20 laps. Let's see if he can reel him in before pit stop time.
Well, 28 of Trevor McMahon, he's moving fairly well out there now, up to 3rd position.
Yeah, he's been moving on that high line all night long. Able to keep his momentum up. Some of these other guys maybe have to lift a little bit in the corner, not getting off the corner quite as good. You see he's made his move around Kinsley there in the 15. We'll see if he's able to run down Honeycutt and Puffenbarger here. It's going to take a little bit. These things get spread out early. They normally do. Looks like maybe the gap might have closed a little bit on the leader already. I haven't been able to update. I have to take a look. But, yeah, the interval is definitely closing. It was 8/10. It's down to 4. So, looks like Honeycutt's pushed the button, or Puffenbarger might have burned his stuff a little bit early here. But that's what it's all about. You got to find out what you got early.
You got to find out what you got early, and you also got to make sure you got enough at the end as well. So,
yeah, that's the delicate balance, right, Adam? I mean, we all fight it in the trucks all the time. We fight it in everything we drive on this service. But you can see the gap visibly coming down right now. It's down to under 2/10. He's closed on the bumper. Now he's getting a sniff of the draft. The question is, can Puffenbarger mess with the air enough to maybe tighten Honeycutt up as he tries to make the pass?
That's going to be seen. I know these cars got some pretty decent side draft as well, so I don't think it doesn't look like Puffenbarger's going to give him much fight though, as he's letting the 72 around.
Yeah, it looked like Honeycutt got a lot of drive off the corner. And whoa, we got a couple cars in the back there. Let's see if Kinsley made it through. The guys were loose. Hopefully everybody made it through. I have to take a look. Yep, they're still going, but a couple cars got real loose right behind the pack right there. I thought it was about a catastrophe, but they're able to pull it back together, and Kinsley's falling back. He'll regroup, and he'll go at it again.
I think the one that I saw get loose was a 28 at Trevor McManus. So, but he's back underway. He's still holding that 3rd position. He's been looking here at 4th through 8th, I think. Maybe like through 9th.
Yeah. Looks like Andrew Teff made his way around all these guys, come back to the front. Honeycutt did take the lead. He is now stretched it to 2/10 of a second. So obviously Puffenbarger might have went a little early too quick, or maybe it's part of his strategy. He's just going to go, maybe use an extra pit stop, wait for a caution, whatever he needs to do. I don't think if I was these guys, I'd wait for a caution too much. They're spread out. That usually makes for a good, clean race. So they're going to have to manage it as they go, and I think that's what we saw out of Andrew Teff right from the beginning. He held back a little bit. He's able to drive himself back up. And then, oh, I'm sorry, that's Alex up there. That's my fault, everybody. I'm still learning, everybody.
Well, Alex and Andrew are both together here on the track. We've got 98 and 43 running front and back of one another.
Yeah, Andrew just made his way around, so he has already moved back up to 5th. We're seeing Honeycutt, he's stretching it to 6/10, now 7/10. So he obviously saved hard at the beginning of this run. and it is really paying dividends for him right now, Daniel Honeycutt.
Well, I'm wondering if Brandon used his up there for the first few laps. So I don't know if he's really, I don't know if Daniel has changed his racing style or if Brandon's just fallen off.
I think he's fallen off. As you see, McManus has made his way around. We're going to see if he can close the gap on the leader, but he's been able to make his way around. It looks like a couple of those guys that used that too high line early, as we may have thought, were really using the tires coming off the corner or trying to get through the middle too hard. They've paid for it a little bit here, so they're going to fall back. Like I said, plenty of time to regroup. There's going to be several pit stops with the limited fuel capacity in these machines. So this is going to get interesting before it's over because McManus, he's able to pull away now from Puffenbarger a little bit. You see the 14 machine, he's still holding serve up in there. So that's Lee Campbell. He just made his way up through. I'm still learning these guys, folks. I'm trying to learn them as quick as I can so I don't have to reference my paper here. But yeah, he's made his way right up through there, Lee Campbell. He came all the way from the back to the front.
Well, Lee Campbell is currently sitting fourth, which might be where he started the race tonight.
Yeah, he fell back early like the rest, saved some tire. Now he's going to put a late charge on, see what he can do. You can see McManus is closing the gap. You see on the ticker there, folks, it's around 7/10. It was 9/10 2 laps ago, so if a couple more good corners, he's going to be putting some pressure on the leader there of Honeycutt.
Well, only if he keeps it down off of the wall, he can give himself some Kentucky stripes down the passenger side of that car.
Oh, those don't hurt anything. We just come out of Darlington. The winner hit the wall 35 times. I don't think you want to do that here, but we'll just have to see how it works out. But he was definitely closing the gap. He's got it down to a little under 7/10 now at, 67 hundredths of a second. Just slowly starting to reel him in. And then, as we said, as the guys in the back, they're just pacing themselves along. Long race. Strategy is going to play a big part of what we see here. There's Trevor, Ludington. I'm hoping that's Michigan. I'm not sure, but I hope that's Michigan.
That might be Michigan.
Yeah, it should be. I've been there a couple times. Should be Ludington, Michigan driver, so not too far from home for him here, as this track's right in between Cincinnati and Louisville, Kentucky. Just off the river there. It's actually a great spot. Great spot for racing. A lot of fans around there. Not sure why it's been taken off the schedule, but that's not for me to decide.
Well, we don't know why some of the tracks get taken off the schedule and others get put on, but definitely see some great racing here at the Speedway.
Yeah, this is a tremendous track. As I said, a lot of guys love it. If you're in a truck, I don't run as much Xfinity because they're a little looser cars. I get that, but in a truck, from this in-car view, will stay on here. You could sweep this out to the wall, and for 10 laps, you could hold it pretty much wide open right here. And then as you come off, you have to brake. You have to either lift early or brake going into 3 and 4, and you'll see the difference, folks. For those of you that are not sure what these guys are battling, this is a much flatter, much wider sweeping corner. You'll see it push up a little bit there. You've got to slow it down. You got to get it to bite and get it to come off the corner, and Lee did a great job right there.
Now, these drivers are doing a real great job. I'm not seeing too much hand movements or car wiggle coming off of the corners like I have seen in other races. And, you're touching about the Xfinity cars feeling looser. I don't know if I necessarily call them looser than the trucks, as I have tried to drive both, and to me, they both still feel super tight.
Oh yeah, in the long run, they're always tight. That's your lovely iRacing setup. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. It's fixed. Everybody runs the same equipment, so it's how you manage your braking, throttle inputs, how much wheel, certain things like that. It definitely disseminates who the best drivers are for the certain tracks. Everybody's got tracks they love. But a certain track, you may see a guy run away, and that's why he just has a knack for what he needs to do. I'm going to check the timing and scoring one more time. Look like we're starting to have the leader get closed in on pretty good up there.
Trevor's slowly closing in on Honeycutt, I believe.
And Adam, are you surprised at me with Puffenbarger there? He's been able to back it off, cool attempts down. He did not get, just steamrolled there. He's been able to hold serve, not losing too much, ground at this point. I'm pretty shocked about it, but it's all kind of, as we were talking about being aggressive early, looks like the tires have equalized a little. All these gaps are being managed about the same lap after lap, but you see McManus way up out of the groove that time, and it's going to cost him a couple tenths right there.
And I think actually Brandon's working his way back up towards the front now that he's got the tires cooled down, got the, as you said, got the everything kind of equalized. He seems to be rolling and possibly catching on Trevor.
Yeah, I think he definitely caught him a little that time. I don't know if it's a pattern. It looked like Trevor got just a bit out of the groove, maybe hit it just a bit hot, slid up the track a little bit out of the groove, hit a little marbles, and then had to wait on the gas. So we'll see if he's able to stabilize that now as we're coming to lap 25 out of 130 right here. These guys will definitely start to feel the tires right now.
Now, I know I've heard, different scenarios and stuff about the throttle control and stuff. Is it asphalt that you want to almost treat it as like there's an egg under the throttle?
Well, that's the old saying, right? You don't want to just lift your foot off real fast, and you don't want to just slam it right down. What it does, it lifts the rear end of the car when you're under braking or let off the gas. It'll lift the rear end of the car up, just the way the balance works. You get loose, and then, of course, you're already loose in the back, so when you slam the throttle back down, you don't have the traction to put the rear wheels into the pavement and get moving the way you want to. So you want it as smooth as you possibly can be.
Yeah, we got a couple battles brewing here. It looks like we got a battle going on for fifth position here, heating up, or is that sixth position? I think it's sixth position with Andrew Tepp and Corey Crowell.
Yeah, good battles back here. These guys are running a little ways off the pace, but I think that's probably a little strategy. They're going to long race. They're not too worried about it. They're just trying to maybe get into position here and go as hard as they can before what I'm assuming is going to be pit stops in probably the next 5 to 6 laps, or maybe even a little bit sooner than that. It'll just depend on how these guys feel about it.
It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Well, as we said, they have 4 sets of tires in the pits, which means they can make 4 pit stops, put on new Goodyear rubber. That's probably going to be worth a second and a half to them when they put them on. But, here's your problem. You saw Kevin Harvick Friday night. You could get trapped a lap down if a caution comes out. You don't want to make mistakes on pit road. There's a lot of factors to come into right here because, as we know, speeding on pit road, you're in trouble. You're for sure going to go a lap down. You pit too early, you're going to go a lap down, and you're going to have to hope this stays caution-free as you're trying to make up the time.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with the green flag pit stops. Whenever they start, you do hope that you can get through, that it cycles through, because you get halfway through the cycle when the caution comes out, it might put you a lap down.
Well, you're definitely going to go a lap down without a caution. However, you're also pretty much going to determine everyone else's pit strategy, because once the leaders come or somebody comes down that's within shouting distance, everybody's going to have to come down. As you see right here, the 4 car already on pit road. See if he can get in and out cleanly. That would have been Dennis Kane there. He's going to come down pit road. I'm sure he's going to get 4 freshies and some fuel. He's going to hope this stays green the entire way. And this should kind of press the hand of a few guys. If it was leaders, they would press everybody's hand because they're going to lose a second and a half a lap right here once he comes back out.
Oh, I believe so, because last lap times they were running about a 33.5, 33.6, and their quickest times are a 31, anywhere between 31.7 and 31.9 for their race times. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out here.
Yeah, right now, Puffenbarger has the fastest lap of the race with a 31.769. That so far is our fastest lap. I will expect that to go down later in the race. Whoa, up and into the wall. Here we go. Is that Alex Teff? Somebody got a little corner of the wall right there.
Alex
like
getting a little high.
43 car. Yep, that's who it was. 43 car touching the wall. He's probably going to want to come down and put his some tires on here pretty soon.
I'm thinking there's a few drivers that are going to start thinking about tires, especially since we've seen 2 drivers come down already that I'm thinking with Dennis Kane and David Davis. I think David Davis also came in. Looks like David Davis though came in around lap 10.
So he came and chose early so he could go a little longer, maybe gain some track position. And what we're seeing right here is a long run car. Trevor McManus seems to have the long run car. We'll see if this will stick up high. Got a little block there. We'll take a little air away. I didn't mean to. It's fine. I didn't mean to do that. He take a little air away, pushed him up a little high, but he has definitely got the run on these straightaways right now.
Oh, he definitely has the long run car, it seems like right now. As he's running a 33.62 was his last lap time as he came across the line. You see what he does this time coming across the line.
Yeah, he has done a fantastic job. And like I said, he's probably setting up for these pit stops. Get everything you can right before these pit stops. And I'm super glad I'm going to see basically the fuel run here because I did not know how far 65% would go. But, yeah, Mr. McManus has got this thing in the wind on a late run, and that may play into it later on in the race.
Oh, very well could. As I see that we got Alex Tepp now down pit road as he's coming in for his green flag stop.
Yeah, I'm going to say I would think everybody would be on pit road in the next lap or two, especially once any leader comes in. That's it. Everybody's going to have to come or they're going to lose way, way too much time with the undercut. Yeah, just a great drive out of McManus at this moment. Just you can see him bobbing and weaving down the backstretch, so his tires are going away quickly, but just not as quickly as everyone else's. He's able to just really stretch the gap right now.
Trevor's looking really good out there in the lead. It looks like Daniel has fallen back a little bit to the clutches of Brandon.
I mean, McManus was 4.5 tenths faster that lap than Honeycutt, so that shows you how quickly the 72's car is falling off. 4 tenths a lap. I mean, he's going to have to come in because the gap is over a second now. He could make that up with an undercut situation, which we may be seeing it right here. That's one of the leaders coming in. This is going to force all the leaders' hands, folks. This will force them to have to come down or they're going to lose too much time on the track to Honeycutt.
Yeah, right now I think the fastest one I've seen on track right now is probably the 21 of Cody Crowell laying down a 33.6. I think is the quickest I've seen on the track at this moment in time.
I think I see a 32.6 out of Kane with his new tires. We'll see what the leaders' difference is. Like I said, his last lap was 33.908. We'll be able to see the difference here coming up. But it looks like it's going to be 36 laps basically for a fuel run.
That looks to be about right, between 36 to 38 laps.
Yeah, the other two leaders were just on pit road. We're looking at the 20 car now as he's going to be scored. Well, the 21 car is what is showing on my screen. But is that Corey Crowell right there in the 20 car?
Yes, that is. His number's 21 on the score sheet, but car number 20.
The info will want to make sure we're right, but he has scored the leader right now. His lap times are about 32 flat at this minute. So we'll see the difference between him and the leader. So he put a big undercut on the leaders, and we're going to see how that will flip it as we go forward.
Corey's last lap time was a 33.76. Andrew Tepp ran a 33.92. And then Josh O'Neill, as we're watching now, he ran a 34.5. So they're going to be coming here shortly, I would think, with everybody else pitting.
Yep, that's my fault, folks. Looked at the wrong column. So we're able to run almost 40 laps on fuel. That would only make this for 3 stops for sure. A couple cautions, maybe you could make it on 3 stops. You'd have to do 4 otherwise. You're going to come up short. So that makes the strategy very, very interesting. Starting to cycle back through. We see Joshua O'Neill. He scored the leader right at the moment. Kinsley Smith scored second. Looks like Andrew Teft on pit road. Corey Kroll on pit road. And then that'll make Of all the leaders that came in, Brandon Puffenbarger got in and out of the pits the fastest. So he'll be scored third, McManus fourth, Alex Teft fifth, and Honeycutt sixth. That's how they're going to shake out after the pit stops. We'll just see the lap times. We'll see who can catch who the quickest. Puffenbarger with a big swing in the momentum here on how far he was able to stretch it on these guys in the pit lane.
I wouldn't count that 28 of Trevor McManus out at all. I mean, we saw him have a great late race run there right before he came in for his green flag stop. And he's looking very, very strong out there.
Oh, no doubt about it. I'm not counting anybody out 41 laps into the race. It's just I was surprised Puffenbarger able to move from third, jump both these guys, and have a significant gap when it was over. It must have been a fantastic job on and off the pit lane.
He better be thanking the pit crew after that stop.
That is correct. That means he got in the box perfectly good. It's an interesting paint scheme, too. I enjoy it.
There's a few good paint schemes out there I'm noticing on some of these cars. You got that one on the number 5. I think on the 14 I saw the a Goodyear style paint scheme.
Yeah, good-looking paint schemes all around. And if you'll notice, Adam, what I noticed, Puffenbarger put the new tires on. He is utilizing the bottom of the track for the most part now. I think he gave up on that high line that got him the position earlier, but last time through he was on the bottom here. We'll see what he does this time. See if he's changed up how he wants to run the track. Yeah, all the way down, apex and out. To me, that's going to save a little more tire, a little less on throttle time. You know, I think it's going to do a better job for him in the long run.
Yeah, it looks like he's almost diamonding the corner, as they would say, a little bit more now than what he was prior.
Yeah, just good apex point, and that's about where you want to run on this track is that dark seam in 3 and 4. You kind of want your left wheel right by it and keep your momentum up a little better. A lot of guys will utilize the apron, but there's a huge bump down there. I don't know if it's a drain or what it is. You get too far down there, and you are sideways before you know what happened. On board here with Brandon. We'll see what he's got. I would say this left side's going to be right on the seam. Right? Nope, staying just above it. That looks like the rubber coming down on the track. That's looking like about what it's going to be. About where everybody's wanting to run right now. And then you get this as low as you can, keep as much momentum as possible.
I think you're talking about them seams. This track, I don't think it's as bad on them seams as others that come to mind.
No, I mean, it's not Auto Club. It's not, any road courses or anything like that. But it will upset the car more than you think, especially with the sunlight out. You get a little cloud cover. It's not as bad, but doing a fantastic job with the line. I like the adjustment. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing an adjustment, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I think as the day goes on here and night goes on, I didn't quite see where the time stamp was when we started this race. I don't know, are we finishing under the lights or are we just running late afternoon? But I can definitely say there seems to be some cloud cover through 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think we're seeing cloud cover. I don't think we have to worry about nights, but see if there's any battles we need to be checking in on here with the gaps. Got a little bit for 3rd and 4th, about an 8/10 difference. We got about 8/10 for the lead, so that means looks like McManus is catching him fairly rapidly. You see Alex Teft up in 3rd. He's been able to hold Honeycutt off thus far, so the different pit strategies have been able to shake the field up a little bit, but these front 2 leaders are seemingly starting to get away a little bit. They got a 5-second gap over the 43 car.
Yeah, they definitely have it gapped out for sure as these two are running away with it. But like I was saying, Trevor's looking really good, and he is slowly gaining on the leader here and there. It's going to be interesting to see how these front 2 runners finish out the race here this evening.
Well, and that's it. Is Trevor going too fast right now? Is he going too hard right now? I guess we'll find out. But as I said, Puffenbarger was able to stabilize, cool the tires, and hang right with the leaders. So I think he's got a good feel for what his car's wanting. And McManus, we saw what he had in the long run, and we know these guys could take it all the way to lap 70 here. So he may be wanting to stretch it with his long run speed and then try to pull off a good pit stop. But he's gaining about half a tenth to a tenth a lap right now.
Last lap, driver ran a 32.77, while Brandon ran a 32.9. So it's definitely going to factor in. I don't know how Trevor. Is this a fixed race? Are the drivers running fixed setups, or are they open setups for this race?
No, I believe this is fixed setups. And we see Honeycutt's made his way around the car of Alex Teff, so we'll see if he can close that gap down. He is 6 seconds almost behind the leaders. So to me, he's going to have to push hard here for a little bit, try to close the gap, and then hope he has a little better pit strategy. I don't know what happened on pit road, but obviously something did. So we see Teft in the wall. One more time, he's about to tear the right rear right off that car.
And you can definitely tell some drivers are definitely pushing harder than others.
And folks, I think our excitement there, we forgot once again, we want to bring up a moment of silence for Tony Trapezzo, the broadcaster. He's been lost. And thoughts and prayers to the family. And we're going to let the next two laps for Tony, and we will be right back. All right, folks, we are back. I had only one job to do, and I messed it up, and I'm sorry. That was supposed to be on lap 46 as a tribute, and it slipped my mind for a moment, and that's on me. But as I said, my name is Michael McKinnon. We are with Adam Flieger in the booth and on the mic. This is the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, and we are happy that we can provide you the sights and sounds of the Racers Elite Wednesday night Xfinity Series here from Kentucky. We are 53 laps in. Puffenbarger has been our leader for a while since pit stops. We see Trevor McManus, he's rolling them in. Honeycutt's holding about a 6-second disadvantage at this point, but good battles back here. 5th, 6th, and 7th right here between Kroll, Campbell, and Andrew Teft.
Definitely some great battles going on, and we definitely do want to give a shout out to the to Tony for all the work that he's put in for the Racers Elite. I know he's going to be missed here.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone over at Sim Racing Media, this is a big hurt for everybody, especially the family, friends, all that stuff. You hate to see it. It's just, it's just tragic when stuff like that happens. But as we're trying, folks, we're trying to make it entertaining. I'm sure he wanted the racing to go on. So we are moving forward and trying to bring you the best broadcast we can. I'm still trying to learn these guys, trying to learn their style. I think we're getting a feel for who the guys are. You see Honeycutt starting to catch the leaders there, about 3/10 that lap. And Trevor McManus is rolling in Puffenbarger fairly quickly there at the front.
And we have, as you were saying, Honeycutt, he ran a 33.24, and McManus is running a 33.2. So they're both running a little bit faster than our current leader, Brandon.
Yeah, you can see it. You can visually see him starting to catch the 5 car here. He's done this all night, though. As we said, he's got great long-run speed. You could just see it. I mean, every time he's able to roll these guys in. I thought maybe he was going a little hard trying to catch him, but he's been able to manage it. He's getting great drive off the corners. Good throttle control. Be hard to get the pass done here with the momentum. And we'll maybe a lap or two again here, but Puffenbarger, good enough car to take it to the outside and say, no, not this time. And he'll try it again. Door to door for the lead. You see, he doesn't want anybody side draft and don't want anybody bothering him there. Spread it out. Let's see if he can get moved over where he needs to for entry. Little shallow on the entry. That might give Puffenbarger a chance to fight back right here, since he probably had to lift just a touch early because he was shallow.
It might have, but I don't think it's going to hurt him too much, though.
Now, car seems to have tremendous drive off the corner. I don't know exactly, what he's using, but the drive off has just been tremendous all night long. And now he's in the clean air. I would expect him to try to drive away a little bit here, as we're probably 10 to 15 laps away from these pit stops again. So he's going to want to stretch this as much as he possibly can, as we'll see Brandon Puffenbarger here. He's going to do the same. I do love the line, in high, drop it down low. But you can just see the drive off. Even with the draft, he's able to hold the gap, which that's hard to do when somebody's got the draft right behind you.
It doesn't look like Trevor's really phased by him being in the rearview mirror.
No, I'm sure he is not. These guys know each other. I'm sure they drive together a lot. They know what to expect from each other. And then, is that a lap car we got coming right there? I guess I missed that. I didn't even see him as he was passing, but it looked like somebody there taking the lap. I don't know if they got the lucky dogs. I don't know any of that stuff, folks, but let's hope so for...
That is the number 4 of Dennis Kane. He's going to try to get his lap back the hard way.
All right, Dennis Kane, he must have been on pit road if he's running these guys down, trying to get a lap back. Maybe that's what it was. He's catching these guys quickly. We missed him on pit road. We'll see if he's able to get the lap put back together here.
I'm showing him last pitted at lap 53.
Okay, so we missed the lap while we were doing our moment of silence there. Let's see if he can take these new tires, get his lap back. A couple of undercuts here. It'll usually work, but now he's in the dirty air. Front end not going to be quite as good. And folks at home, if you don't do this, trust me when I say this, air matters. You get tucked up behind somebody in the front of you, they don't want to turn. And I think you see it out of Puffenbarger right there. He got stuffed in behind McManus, and up the track he went quickly.
Hey, you almost get what they call aerotight. Isn't that the term they use?
Well, that's exactly right. You get back there, you don't have enough air pressure to hold the nose down. The tires get light in the front, and it slides you right around until it'll catch you. And then sometimes that'll snap you loose when your front tires all of a sudden catch you, just like, uh-oh, the whole rear end's loose. So it's a balancing act with it. But he's able to catch it, scoop it back up, and keep on rolling.
Like we've been saying all night, Trevor has looked really good on the long runs. As we're winding up here into about lap 64 next time by.
Yeah, over and over. You can say it over and over. He's really good on these runs. It looked like he got out front. He's not pressing the issue. I think the next 5 laps, you'll see what everybody has, because they're going to have to come down and pit again. Honeycutt's been able to get it down under 5 seconds from 6 seconds. So he is making gains in the long run here. And the more these guys race, the more gains he's going to be able to make.
Oh, that's just it. And that's one of the tough things is, trying to get position. When you're battling for position on asphalt, I know, even on dirt, and just racing in general, whenever you're battling for position side by side, you're losing time to the single file cars around you.
Oh, that's a 100% fact. I mean, the more you're racing, the more you're not running the line you want to run. We see Corey Kroll right there. He's moved up to 4th. Got Andrew Teff battling his brother Alex for 5th, 6th, and Lee Campbell. He's going to make his way around Alex as well, I think, if he can keep the position here. Got to watch how low you come into these corners. It makes you lift a little early, or you overdrive it, and somebody will come and put the old switcheroo on you, is what they call it.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like Lee was able to hold the position there. Let's see if he can get away from Alex, get him some clean air, and try to make a run for Andrew. As I said, I think everybody's going to go as hard as they can right now, because they know they got pits coming. So they got to go absolutely as hard as they can, and we got somebody on pit road right now.
That is the 72 of Daniel Honeycutt coming back down on the pit road.
All right, so Honeycutt, he's going to pit by himself this time. He's looking for a little better pit stop than last, trying the undercut on these leaders. He's pitting about 4 laps earlier than he did the first time, I think. We'll see how much time he can gain with the undercut. And folks, when I say undercut, that means pit before the leaders, have the better tires, make up as much time as you can. That's an undercut. I would expect that will force the hand of these two guys to come down to keep pace.
I'm not sure. Could these two drivers up front, Trevor and Brandon, could they be stretching the fuel run out to see how far they could possibly go?
Well, they can. We saw the first stage. I believe a couple drivers went to the start of lap 39. So these guys should be able to take it to maybe lap 75, somewhere in there. But if they don't do this, this is going to allow Daniel Honeycutt to make up a second and a half a lap for every lap these guys stay out. So they're looking for long run gains. Daniel's looking for short run gains right now.
I'm looking at it, and they pitted on lap 37.
Okay, so 37. So expect them around lap 75. That's why I said I thought Northcutt, he realized he wasn't gaining enough. He's going for an undercut. Here's no question. And he is going to gain time on these guys. Matter of fact, when they pit, I will expect Daniel Northcutt to be in the lead. The only question will be, with 12-lap older tires, how long will it take these guys to catch back up to him?
As we see Lee Campbell and Scotty Davis coming to pit road.
Yeah, along with Andrew Teft, Campbell, all on pit road. This is the cycle we're looking at. Not happy with this set of tires anymore. Well, they're wanting to do the same thing. They want to try to make up as much ground as possible on the guys in front of them. All Honeycutt, he got to hope that stays green, of course. That's the number one thing he's got to worry about right now.
Well, we're currently on lap 70 right now. So you're saying about in the next 5 laps or so, we should be seeing these front two leaders coming to pit road.
Yeah, 100%. I think you'll see it probably on lap 75, unless these guys realize Honeycutt's making up that much time on them. They can see that in their cars. They can see their relative. They can see the speeds. They can see the gap. So if they feel if they're losing too much, they may make a call, come in a little bit earlier.
And Corey and Andrew Teff, they pitted on lap 39. Do you think they're going to try to run as long as Trevor and Brandon?
I think didn't we see Andrew come in? I thought we saw him come in. Maybe he didn't. Maybe that could have been the 19.
No, that was Alex we saw come in.
Okay, that's who came in. So, yeah, they're going to stretch it probably as far as they can. If they do this right, let's see, 100. They can do this on one more stop easily. So they can make one more stop, and that'll be the end of it. There's Andrew. Oh, got up in the marbles. Hard to get it slowed back down, bounce it off the wall. It's fine. Safer barrier says you're good. Daniel Honeycutt reaches for his heart for a second. Now he's able to scamper away and then see how much ground he can make up on these leaders when they pit. I would keep an eye, maybe the next 2 to 3 laps. Leaders will come to pit road, and folks, I fully expect Daniel Northcutt to be in the lead. This is 8 laps of it, making up at least a second lap.
How do you say Daniel's last name there, Mike?
Didn't I say Honeycutt?
Oh, it sounds like you were saying Northcutt. That's why I'm.
Oh my God, I might have. I'm sorry. I said I'm still learning. Everybody, that's probably my fault. Yeah, Honeycutt. I expect him to be in the lead by about 4 seconds after these guys pit, and then we'll see the difference in 12 to 13 lap tires compared to the difference in new. I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move for Daniel. I do. He had lost 4 seconds the last exchange. If he can gain those up and sort of hold on to it, I think it's a good exchange for him.
I think it will be too. The only other thing that I'd be concerned about is Trevor, Brandon, Corey, and Andrew trying to make this a one-stop race. Do you think they're going to try to make it as a one-stop?
Yeah, 100%. I think Honeycutt, 30 laps, 70, 97. I think he can make it on one more as well. We saw 38, 39 laps. I think he can make it on one more as well. So I think that's going to balance each other out a little bit there, Adam. I think it'll balance. But here we go. Here's the leaders. Honeycutt had almost got his lap back by the time he got to them. So I expect a 4 to 5 second lead when this shakes out.
It's going to be interesting. I think I might have heard somebody might have got caught speeding, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But Puffenbarger, McManus in the pit lane. Honeycutt making up the ground quickly as they're sitting still. We'll see how fast. Here he comes out of 3 and 4 now. We'll see where they've come back together. Like I said, I'm expecting 4 to a 5-second lead. Oh, no. Oh, no. Maybe it was him that got caught speeding.
I think Trevor got caught.
Trevor McManus still on pit road, serving probably a 26, almost a full lap. He's going to come out maybe more than 2 laps behind.
So currently we got Corey out in the lead with Andrew Teff behind him. And then we have Daniel Honeycutt back here in third.
Yep, so by the time those guys make their stops, they went long last time if you remember. Time they make their stops, that should cycle Honeycutt back to the lead. And now here comes Trevor. He's able to finally get going. He most likely, he's going to need a miracle to make up probably 2 laps right here. And you see Honeycutt came out, and Puffenbarger's a complete lap down by this thing cycles out. Now we'll see how fast he can make that up. Nope, now updated. So you see a 7-second lead right there. It's about what I expected. That's actually more than I expected. So I think it was that's a great move on the part of Honeycutt right there.
Yeah, but I would if I was Honeycutt, I'd still be cautious and running my lines. As you know, Brandon's going to do all he can to get back up there to battle for that lead.
Yeah, I think within 10 to 12 laps, he'll be right there with him. But in the overall scheme of how the race plays out, Honeycutt did more than make up for the 4 seconds he was behind when he pitted. So good strategy call. I think he can stretch this far enough. Let's see, about 96. Yeah, he can stretch it more than far enough to make it to the end with one more stop. I think overall it played out well for him.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're probably going to see Daniel come in around lap 100. It would be my guess.
Yeah, somewhere in there. That's 33 to 34 laps. He could stretch it maybe a couple more, but that'll depend on how fast. You see Puffenbarger's already knocked 2 seconds out of it. So we're going to see what the overall gain from 4 seconds down at pit to the next time we pit, and we'll see if it worked out. That's all Honeycutt could do, though. That's as good a play as he had.
Yeah, and Trevor just had an unfortunate time there on pit road as he has fallen a lap down to the leaders, I believe. I think that's all he lost was a lap, but I could be wrong. We'll see what timing scoring comes around here. Yeah, it looks like he's one lap down.
Yeah, we'll wait to see here. He may be able to drive back up there, but he's got a long way to dig out. That's a shame, too, when the traffic cops have to be on pit road there. See a nice battle there. That looked like Alex and
that's Alex and Lou.
At it. I'm waiting on this. You can see Puffenbarger is taking big chunks out of it. He's got it down to 3.7. So within a matter of 6 laps, he's been able to knock out half the lead. And we'll see how quickly his tires, equalize. But that battle for 3rd and 4th, Campbell right there, Alex Teft, Andrew Teft 5th. All these guys spread out, but we'll wait till this last pit stops just to see how it plays out.
And as it gets spread out like this, the more apt we are to have a green flag from beginning to end.
Yep. Well, what do you say we go through the field right here? There's a couple guys not getting enough TV time. They need to show their pretty paint jobs. Right now out front, got the 72 of Daniel Honeycutt. We saw the move he made on pit road. North Carolina native there, looking good. Might want to put a sponsor on that car, but we like the blackout car. Running second place right now, we got Brandon Puffenbarger. He is starting to cut the lead very, very quickly. Got the MVP roofing machine looking sharp. I'm going to guess that's Pittsburgh. I'm hoping that's Pittsburgh, but we'll find out. Third place car right now, Lee Campbell. You spoke of that Goodyear machine earlier. He's put a good solid run together all night long. He's about 8 seconds behind right now, waiting on pit stops. 4th, Alex Teft. Got the same sponsor as our leader, Honeycutt, so the car does look good. Fifth place runner is Andrew Teft, the Riley Herbst themed Monster Energy. I'm guessing that's a Mustang if he's got that on it, but I can't quite tell. It should be. Sixth place running Corey Kroll in the number 20 Key West group, K West at least right there. Then we got Joshua Neal. He's in the 82, looking pretty good. Right behind Joshua, we got Aaron Marquis running in the 8th position. I do like that paint scheme, a little Austin Hill inspired machine. Then we got Kinsley Smith in the 15. He's running 9th right now, and then rounding out the top 10 is Dennis Kane. We've seen him with the early pit strategy a couple of times here. The Detroit native running the Ford Mustang, of course, coming from Detroit. In 11th place, Trevor McManus, going to try his best to try to get that lap back. That speeding penalty really just might have been the nail in the coffin for him if we don't get any kind of cautions. 12th place, Scotty Davis. And then 13th place is the 3 of David Davis. Here we go.
Just a little insight with these drivers running these blacked out cars. I think they're doing that for in honor of Tony.
Well, and that would make sense, right? That's a good tribute to the man. That's a small way to say it. No, we see Honeycutt into the wall a little bit, but here we go. It took 11 laps for Puffenbarger to roll in the leader, and he's going to be able to stretch it a little bit. As I said, what's the net gain, net loss? If he's only 3 seconds down, when it's time to pit, then he gained a second. So we'll see how far Puffenbarger's able to stretch this, since Honeycutt's on a good 12 to 13 lap older tires.
I don't think he's on. He's only on. I want to say 9 lap older tires.
Yeah, I have to check that. I thought he pitted on lap 63.
He pitted lap 65.
Okay, 65. Okay, so that's 10 lap tires. We'll see how big a difference that makes. It took Puffenbarger 10 laps to roll him in. And then, like I said, if the net gain is that he's less than 4 seconds down, it was a good call. If not, well, lesson learned, I guess. But we already see it's up to a second. Puffenbarger able to stretch it on everybody in the field at this point as the tires are starting to go away. Again, on everyone. Puffenbarger, probably the cleanest tires in the field at this point, and it's going to be hard to catch. I see Honeycutt do the same thing, though.
He's definitely got the up front, and he's got the newest tire. But speaking of that, Kinsley now comes to pit road.
All right, Kinsley on lap 89. This is going to stretch the fuel. This is going to absolutely stretch it. I thought the window would be lap 92, 91. So if he's able to stretch it, we'll see he's going to make his play for it right here. 15 car looking sharp. So it's Puffenbarger. Let's check the gap at the line. This time, 1.6 seconds. So in 5 laps, he's been able to gain 3.5 tenths per lap. That's not driving away as fast as he should be or could be. So I think Honeycutt will take that if he can keep that distance. And it should equalize even a little more to help him. So I think he's going to gain in the long run here.
Yeah, it looks like there's a 9-second gap between him and Lee there in 3rd place.
Yeah, 9 seconds. That'd be hard to make up for Mr. Campbell, but like I said, he's running a nice, easy race. We see Andrew Teft closing in on him. We got Kroll here. He's going to sneak by Alex Teft in the 43. Well, not quite. Good run off the corner for the 43 that time on the high side.
Down in the corner, 1 to go with Brandon now back. Looks like he's now coming through 3 and 4 as some of the field's still coming through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's a large gap in 9 seconds. I mean, that's a good straightaway's worth, but the real key is how far is he pulling on Honeycutt. We'll be able to see that here once it sets back up. But if he can stabilize this, it was 1.6. Okay, he lost a half a second that lap. So Puffenbarger putting him down a little better lap. Honeycutt's going to want to, though. I mean, oh, no, that's going to hurt. Oh, that's going to hurt his chances bad. That's a heavy hit into the outside retaining wall.
Well, One thing I'm noticing, and some of these drivers have hit that outside safer barrier, and it doesn't seem to be hurting the car too much.
Well, it just depends how you hit it. If you hit it flat-sided, it's not terrible. If you catch the right rear, affects the aero, you may still have speed, but it's not going to handle the same. And of course, you hit the right front. I mean, I know in a truck, if you hit the right front, you have engine damage. So that's the one thing you can't have. And I said pit windows open right now. Money stop could be at any moment and get you to the end. I think you'd have enough fuel from here. Unless you have a green-white checker. Maybe these guys will put a couple more in the bank just to make sure, because there are 3 green-white checker attempts.
Now, it's just a theory, because we know that most likely we're going green the rest of the way with them spread out as far as we are around Kentucky here. Do you think, for Trevor's sake, would it benefit him to pit early and try to get both laps as immediately on pit road, or how best do you think he can make up those laps?
For Trevor, I would stay out, try to get my lap back. Maybe take 2 tires. Maybe I don't know. Maybe just take fuel only. I'm not sure. He's going to have to get one back the old-fashioned way, and that's going to be it. And Sarah, I don't know what you're seeing there. I'm glad you're watching. Thank you for being with us. You're probably seeing a little just shadow or light. I don't think you're seeing sparks. I've never really noticed sparks at any point. So it's probably a shadow. Oh, you may be seeing the fence line too right there.
Now, I have a feeling I might know what she could be seeing is as the drivers are getting off the gas, coming into the corners, she might be catching the flame out the tailpipe.
That could be as well. Yeah, when these guys lift off the gas, you'll see a puff of flame come out of the pipe, just like that. That's probably what you're seeing. I was lost there for a minute. I was trying to think what could it possibly be. But, yeah.
You're normally in the driver's seat there, Michael, so you don't really see that a whole lot from your perspective.
Well, I see it from all the other drivers. I should have known that. But, yeah, when these guys let off the gas, you'll see a puff of flame, just like you'll see in a normal NASCAR race. It's just the way the, fuel burning out of the pipe with the heat.
A little extra fuel still left, residue still left as they let off the gas coming into the corners.
Yep, and it'll burn off and put a little flash. But I do see that now as I'm watching Andrew heading around the track there. All right, Adam, what are we going to do here? We got 33 laps to go. These guys are well within the window to make it. As for Trevor, I don't know. I think he's going to have to stay out past the leaders, try to get a lap back. So if I'm the leaders, I'm going to stretch the fuel all the way to the end, not giving that opportunity. But we'll just have to see. As we see, pit stops are now starting for everybody. And here comes Honeycutt to pit road.
Honeycutt's coming into pit road now. And the biggest thing is, since you know this is your last stop, or the money stop as you call it, you don't want to get caught by the pit road police. You don't want to have, speeding penalties.
No, you get one now, it's all said and done. I'm sorry. You got to be right on this one. This is what they call the money stop for a reason. Pay windows open after this. So we'll watch this cycle around, and you see Andrew Teff's been able to make his way all the way up to second place there. So he's been able to roll by Kroll and Campbell. He obviously had a strategy here. He's trying to make up as much ground as he possibly can. Well, we hope you like it, Sarah. I mean, for somebody that's new to it, I hope we're doing a good job. We are not Mike Joy and Fox Broadcasting, but we're doing the best we can. I hope you're enjoying it. We're happy to be bringing it to you on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. And just for a shameless plug, we appreciate Racers Elite League here for having us. You see Campbell coming to pit road. If you enjoy what you see here on our racing network, we race Monday Night Truck Series, sponsored by Sim Racer Hub. We run Friday night our Premier Truck Series, sponsored by the Concerns of Police Survivors. Both those start at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Brought to you live right here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. All right, Adam. Everybody's made their bed here. Everybody's got what they're doing. You see Andrew Tuff doing the same as before. Here comes Trevor. He's been forced. He's going to have to come pit road. Puffenbarger's still on the track, so he's going to put him another lap down until he comes to pit road. So what's the strategy call you got, buddy?
I'm not sure. For Trevor, I'm wondering if he's going to try to get the tires, try to get the speed up, and where maybe he can get almost the 2 laps to come through. But it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out here, as we now have only 3 drivers on the lead lap currently.
Yeah, I think being forced to come to pit road, that might have been the final nail in Trevor's coffin there. He obviously had one of the best cars all night. You'll see him going another lap down there. He'll, of course, get that back when Puffenbarger pits. But it just looks like this is Brandon Puffenbarger's night at the moment. He is up and he is gone, everybody.
And as you're talking about him, he's coming to pit road.
All right, so we're going to see where Daniel comes out. He came in earlier to see if he can cycle back around and see how big a lead he's got. 27 laps to go at the line. This could get interesting if he's got a big enough gap here. Is that getting his lap back, or is that not? We're going to find out soon. All right, that was just getting the lap back. Now we'll see how he comes around and where he's going to cycle back out. But Puffenbarger's going to be hard to beat if he can beat him out of pit road and back onto the track.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's coming around now to regain that lead. But we still have Andrew out front.
Yeah, Andrew's running long again here. I don't think he came in early. I couldn't see him exactly when he pitted. But there's Puffenbarger. You see him coming off the pit road. Pardon me, Adam. What did you say there, bud?
Andrew pitted lap 78.
All right, he's going to have to come in one more time. He's going to stretch it. He's hoping for a caution, ladies and gentlemen. He's taking it as far as he can. Let's see where this cycled out. Honeycutt just out in front of McManus. And I can't tell is that Puffenbarger ahead of him right there?
Yes.
He's going to be hard-pressed to catch him. As we see Teft now on pit road, that's going to leave the 41 of Marquis out. He'll assume the lead, I think, once he comes around. But Puffenbarger might have this one in the bag with a couple of great pit strategy calls. Honeycutt did all he could to make up that 6-second gap. But he's on the older tires now. I don't think he's going to have a chance unless we get a caution flag.
Well, I don't think Aaron's going to be able to run completely out here, as he pitted at lap 69.
Yeah, Marquis pitted on 69?
Correct.
Okay, because I know Kinsley did as well. Well, maybe he's trying the safe strategy. He's got a 10-second gap. I think we'll probably see that evaporate fairly quickly here. But could be the winning call. Could be the winning call. But you see Kinsley is down a lap right now, so I don't think it's going to work for him that good. But if he can stretch at 41 laps, I'm going to have to see it. But I think he's just hoping for a good finish at this point.
I think Trevor's really wishing for a caution right now.
No, I know he's screaming for one right now. He had one of the best cars all night, folks. The 28 got caught speeding on pit road. One of those simple mistakes.
Oh,
no.
You don't want to be the cause of the caution.
Is he going to catch it? We should stay green. That was a good save right there from Trevor.
I know he wants a caution, but he don't want to be the cause of the caution.
No, that one was, my God, I got to get to the brakes and the gas at the same time. Hurry up. I saved it. Phew. That was almost a catastrophe for Trevor right there, but that great save. He had to have been 45 degrees sideways.
And he went to decide he wanted to try some dirt track racing.
Yeah.
Go and do some Tokyo drifts.
Brandon Puffenbarger out front, making it look easy at this point. And this track, folks, is not as easy as these guys make it look. And as I said, once in a while, if you get a runaway like this, it's just because it fits the driver's style. And there's Honeycutt. He's running second.
Well,
McManus in between.
I think it actually comes down to a couple of things whenever you see drivers run away like Brandon is tonight. It's the driver's style, but you also got to think of the pit crew strategy, and you got to give credit to the pit crew as well.
Oh, 100%, Adam. Yeah, I mean, it's getting in and off pit road. We saw the mistake that Trevor made, and, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to bite him. But Honeycutt 3.5 seconds behind, seeing if that's going to equalize at all. It's kind of hanging right there, so he does have a little something left in the tank. You see Campbell 10 seconds back Andrew Teff 10 seconds after his pit stop, but he's got a little fresher tires. He may be able to make it up to a podium finish.
As Brandon now comes across the stripe now to make it 21 laps to go.
21 laps to go in the regular season finale before they start the playoffs next week. Do we know where they're starting the playoffs at? I did not see that information. I should have been more prepared for that, but we'll see if we can find that and get that to you.
Well,
yeah, I know. It's asking a little too much of the producer to try to help me produce the thing, look up the information. I'm putting a lot on your table, buddy.
well, I had it. I just had the wrong one open. So this is September 6th tonight. We're at Kentucky. They're going to Indianapolis Oval next week for the start of the chase.
So Indianapolis Motor Speedway next week at this time, it's starting the playoffs. I understand most of the guys are locked in. We'll kind of have a starting field. We probably won't be able to bring you that information tonight, but we will have it next time if we are called upon to do this again. We appreciate you being with us once again. My name's Michael McKinnon. I'm with Adam Flieger, and this is the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, brought to you by the North American Sim Racing Association, which we are all members and race in, and I can't wait till Friday night. I'm ready to go to Rockingham, turn some laps. Brandon Puffenbarger is out the gate, everybody.
Yeah, he's looking really good out front. We got Honeycutt there in second. I think Honeycutt's losing a little ground, though, little by little.
Yeah, a little bit older tire, and he's having to press a little harder. He's got the clean air, which is going to help him save as much as possible, but I think it just might be a little bit too much to ask. He's going to need a caution flag, so he's going to need, which he almost got with McManus there. He was probably praying for it.
Well, I know McManus is praying for a caution, but he don't want to be the caution.
Well, that's 100% true, but you got to remember, folks, every one of these cars, I believe, has one more set of tires sitting in the pits. So if we did get a caution flag and it had to re-rack these things, it's anybody's game at that point.
Well, all the drivers except Pensley have one set of tires remaining if they use them, as they've all pitted 3 times. Pensley, though, only pitted twice.
Okay, so Kinsley's got 2 sets, so that would make sense. He's got plenty of rubber left if we get a yellow flag here at the end, which, as you saw, not too hard to get loose here. And of course, that's what all these guys are praying for right now. We need a caution flag is what they're all saying. But of course, we don't want to see that. We want this to play out naturally the way it's supposed to go. We don't want anything bad to happen.
Take a listen to Kensley as we're running through these corners. I think we've got a different strategy going on here with the number 15.
Listen in. Now tell me what you're noticing there, Adam.
I think I got somebody pressing the clutch through the corner.
Well, we said he pitted on lap, he had, 69? Or no, 89.
He pitted on lap 87.
All right, so he's definitely clutching, but he's trying to make it to the end. He's trying to fuel save absolutely as hard as he can. Any little bit helps. Yeah, I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to save all the way to the end here and hoping maybe some other guys run out. I don't know. I don't think we're going to have any of those issues with the leaders. As I said, 14 laps to go, 13 at the line. Brandon Puffenbarger out front. Oh, you see McManus going as hard as he can, man, all the way to the wall right there.
Oh, McManus is pushing hard. I just don't think he might finish on the lead lap, but he's not going to get back around the fight for the lead.
No, I don't think so either. And you see Andrew Taft, took a big chunk out of the lead. He's worked his way back into 3rd place. He's only 2 seconds behind Honeycutt here. We'll see if he's got enough to make a charge and maybe roll it up into 2nd place here.
They're definitely definitely is a lot of great drivers here running here at Kentucky this evening. As we said before, a lot of great paint schemes. It's just unfortunate that different strategy calls, different driving styles really set the drivers apart.
Yeah, it's kind of what you expect at a mile and a half. If you get good, clean racing, which is what we've seen, and that's what you want, they'll get spread out a little bit during the pit cycles, and they'll usually work their way back together. But it was unfortunate, like I said, McManus with his penalty. Honeycutt obviously had a bad first pit stop. He lost a lot of ground. And then here we are. They're just kind of holding serve at this point as Brandon Puffenbarger is able to stretch the lead further and further lap after lap.
And he's looking to put Joshua Neal a lap down.
Yeah, that's the other unfortunate thing. Long runs will breed lapped cars. But as for the guys in the front, I mean, they've done a great job. Andrew Teft, we've seen him fall back, come to the front, fall back, come to the front, back up to third. Crowell, or I hope I say it right. He's doing a great job. He's been kind of right there all night long, fourth, fifth. See Campbell. I mean, all these guys, they're holding position all night long. They just couldn't get the caution they needed or break. If they tried to save a little too much tire early, they got spread apart, and that's it. It's tough when you don't get any caution flags and try to, re-rack them and reset them.
Yeah, it's tough, and it can be frustrating as a driver sometimes too when all you needed was just that one caution to get them re-racked, kind of restacked, and you could have made a run at the end, and I'm just unfortunate whenever it doesn't come.
Well, that's what we said. Trevor's kicking himself. He's showing right now he's had as much speed as the leaders all night. Honeycutt's has as much speed as the leader, just small incremental mistakes, and this is what you get. You get spread out, and you're doing glorified pace laps for a while. You're just going as hard as you can go every time by, and just never seemed like you're making up enough ground. You see Teft has taken another second away from Honeycutt here, so there's going to be a battle for second coming up real shortly.
Teft does look really good running third, possibly going to end up running for second. And we're getting down to that time frame. We're down to 8 laps to go now. Do you think some more drivers besides Kensley are saving fuel at the moment?
Well, you said the 41 came in on lap 89 as well, 87. I mean, they're probably saving fuel. I think these top guys are good. I know for sure Andrew Teft is good. He long pitted all night long. I don't think there's a lot of fuel saving going on at the moment. This is Andrew Teft. He's going to try to get to second place. That's all he cares about right now. Right on board, Daniel Honeycutt.
Daniel Honeycutt, he pitted at lap 97.
Yeah, well within the fuel window. That was 33 to the end. You see not a lot of wheel movement. Car is driving for him, but unfortunately when the fall off comes, you don't get as much drive off the corner. You think you're doing the same thing, but you're not. You see him up just a little high on the seam to try to keep that momentum up. He sees Teft in the mirror.
He definitely sees the 98 monster machine of Teft grow bigger and bigger in the mirror behind him.
Yeah, you can visibly see the gap as he's entering the corner, and we'll see if he gets a little big run. As you see right there, Honeycutt a little tight, sliding off the corner and into the wall. They followed each other into the corner. That was Andrew Teft's opportunity right there. A little more momentum, and he had him for sure, but they're both getting tight, obviously. Teft probably a little tight in the air coming off of Honeycutt's car.
Now, that's another thing with the drivers. You want to make sure you're not following the car in front of you's line. As it's real easy if they slide up to the wall, you're going the same way.
Yeah, it's real hard not to do, though, Adam. It's hard. You know what the fastest line is. You need to run it, but just don't overcook it. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if Andrew regroups right here. He's able to close on corner entry almost every time. But you see both these cars very, very tight right through the center of the corner. They're both floating out to the wall. Andrew, big run this time. He's going to be putting the pressure on with 3 to go.
And Andrew definitely got the run now.
Yeah, big run. Now, can he do anything with it? They're so tight. One thing to catch a guy, another thing to pass him. Let's see what he takes This high line's going to be hard to hold it right there, and he's probably going to lose a little momentum, honestly.
He lost a little momentum. I can hear the wheels squealing up there on that lane.
Yeah, he's going to look for his opportunity here. He backs out a little early. Now he should be able to get a run. Honeycutt does the exact same thing. Back the corner up. We're going to come to 2 to go as Brandon Puffenbarger out front. We're going to keep our eyes on this battle from Teft and Honeycutt right here. 3 to go. Right on the back bumper. As I said, this is going to be hard for him to pull off if he gets a little aerial push. Both cars using the middle, got a little block.
Oh, I think he's got him this corner.
Very good sportsmanship right there from Honeycutt. I think he knows Andrew's quicker, but Andrew overcooks the corner. That's going to give Honeycutt the opportunity. Try to get the run on the outside here to maintain. He's able to. Can he clear him? He cannot. 2 laps remaining. This is quite a battle, door to door. This is who can hold it down and get it off the corner right here. Can he hold it low enough to get enough momentum off the corner? He should be able to pull him right here. Now, as Honeycutt up into the wall again.
That's definitely going to open the door up.
I'm sorry, Adam, I cut you off there, buddy.
Oh, no, I was cutting you off. Sorry. No, I was saying that's definitely going to open the door up now for Andrew to clear that pass.
Yep, white flag, everybody, and let's put the spotlight on that 5. Great race out of Puffenbarger all night long. Brandon ran a great race. He puts another lap on it. Looked like the 41 car. Came one more corner. We're going to have this thing in the books. 5 car, the MVP roofing machine off of 3 and 4. Just a great race. I mean, great pits. Obviously didn't put a step out of where it needed to be. And your winner of tonight's race, Brandon Puffenbarger, for the Wednesday night Xfinity Series with the Racers Elite. Excuse me. Puffenbarger going to bring it home first, and it looks like second. Look like Teft going to hold on to second. Honeycutt third. Kroll fourth. Alex Teft, a lot of troubles into the wall a few times tonight. He's going to bring home a top 5. 6th place will be the 14 of Campbell. You see McMahon is able to work his way all the way back to 7th, but never could get the lap back there. Then the 82 of Neal, number 8. Marquis 9th. Kane 10th. And Smith 11th. The 19 of Davis 12th. And the 3 of Davis 13th. So Brandon Puffenbarger on the podium tonight. And I'm assuming they want us to do some interviews tonight, don't they?
Possibly.
Are you able to move, guys? Because I can't.
I do not think I can.
We'll have to look and see. Well, we're going to do one commercial. This is for our racing network. We don't mean anything by it. It's our little break so we can get things
we can
situated.
stay right here too, Mike, as we sort it out. I'll leave the results up. We'll just check out real fast and...
Well, we'll be right back, everybody, as we try to get a hold of these guys and see if we can give them a talking to.
Okay, we ready?
Good.
Got you now, buddy. You come in third, right? I'll start with you, and then we'll go to
all right, you're live.
Andrew and then to Brandon.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live from Kentucky, and it's our pleasure to bring in third place finisher tonight, Daniel Honeycutt. And Daniel, I saw about 3/4 of the way through the race there, tried a little undercut move. Looked like you lost a little ground early in the race, maybe on pit road. Was that just trying to see where you could equalize back out in the field?
Well, I stalled it in the first pit stop, so I ended up maybe 4, 5, 6 seconds behind the leaders. Tried to gain on them a little bit, and then kind of realized that maybe I could undercut them just a little bit, so maybe I can gain a little bit back and hope for a caution like right after everybody pitted, so I could have the lead.
Yeah, I thought you had a net gain there. I thought it was maybe a second and a half you had gained on the interchange. So I thought it was a great move. I mean, other than that, describe your race for us tonight. It looked like your car was getting tight like everyone else. Was it just getting to be a handful after about 30 laps there?
About 5 laps into a run, you just get really close to that wall and just try to save as much as you could. But Brandon and who was it, Trevor, they were really fast all night long, just trying to keep up with them. And then I think Andrew had that strategy at the end where you can get by me running on those long runs and had the freshest tires. But it was very tight, and I hit the wall a few times. Probably shouldn't have. Maybe finished a little bit better, but it's all right. Last race of the season, learned a little bit, and hope to see some good stuff in the playoffs.
Well, I tell you what, for our first time broadcasting, we enjoyed the heck of it. It's good, clean racing. These things are hard to hang on to. We know Xfinity cars hard to drive. So after your third place finish here, man, the floor is yours. Shout out whoever you want to, sponsors, friends, wives, girlfriends, whoever it is, and who makes it possible for you, bud.
Well, I want to thank you guys, first of all, for coming in and being able to broadcast everything. I'm sure Andrew will probably say a little bit more to y'all, but I just want to say thank you because it's really cool to see some guys be willing to step up and be like, hey, we can help out when we need to. And I want to say rest in peace to Tony, and I feel for all his family. And I didn't know him all that much, but I seen a few of the races he broadcasted. He seemed like a pretty genuine guy. Just want to thank Andrew for the league. About to start these playoffs, so I'm getting ready for that. So I want to thank all those.
All right, everybody. That was our third place finisher, Daniel Honeycutt. And Daniel, great race. We appreciate it. We'll hope we'll see you again.
Thank you.
And that will bring us to our second place competitor tonight, the 98 car of Andrew Teft. And Andrew, we've seen you go longer than most guys all night long. I mean, I'm guessing that was the strategy, right? Long pit, a little better tires in the end there. And then, of course, no caution flags. It seemed to work in your favor there.
Yeah, I was trying to save his bet for late in the race in case there was a caution. I kind of banked on the same strategy last night and didn't work last night either. So I probably should have learned, but I figured even if there wasn't, I'd still have a decent finish and came in second. So I guess I did.
Yeah, it was a good run. We've seen some good battles in the middle there. And like I said, thoroughly impressed with the league. These cars are hard to drive. I don't care what anybody says, man. These things are hard to drive. I thought you guys did a fantastic job, and you should be very proud. Lastly, you say you need to learn. Do you think maybe earlier trying to undercut? I thought the strategy was actually worked in your favor pretty good. It's just that Brandon just got out there and nobody could catch him.
Yeah, I think I could have, I don't know, equaled out the runs a little bit and gotten a little bit closer to him. I ran pretty long, just banking on caution or, but yeah, Brandon ran a perfect race too, so got to be perfect.
I hear you, buddy. Adam, you got anything to add with Mr. Taft there, bud?
No, just a great run. Glad that we could help out here for tonight. And great run there, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thoughts go out to Tony and his family and the SRM family, and thank you guys for jumping in this emergency. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to do it, Andrew. Great to touch base with you earlier today. And as we said, we personally didn't know Tony, but let everybody know our thoughts and prayers are with them. And great race, bud. Who makes it happen for you?
Thank you to everybody for showing up. Can't do it without you. Fields keep getting bigger and bigger every week. Racing's been great, clean. Thanks to our servicemen and women, to you guys again, fans for tuning in. Thank you all around.
All right, everybody, and thank you, Andrew. There's your second place finisher in the 98, Andrew Teft. And that'll bring us to the winner. Pretty dominant win, I must say. I don't think he expected that, but Brandon Puffenbarger, You seem to have perfect strategy, perfect speed, long run. You really surprised me in the first run when Trevor caught you. You were able to cool the tires down and stabilize. Just a overall great run. Describe the race for us.
It was a good run. I mean, I don't think I was the fastest car. I think Trevor was the man to beat tonight. Along with Daniel. Those two are usually a little faster than I am, but I just try to be like try to not make any mistakes and follow try to make good pit calls. Tonight I kind of just followed Trevor with the pit strategy, and it kind of worked out in my favor.
Yeah, you got to explain one thing. I hope I'm right on this. It looked early in the race you wanted to try that high line, and it really started to burn you up. And then after the first pit stop, you made that little adjustment, nice arc in and down and out, and that seemed to make the difference on that right front tire a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I mean, the second and a half groove up. It was quick for about 2 to 3 laps, but after that, the car started to roll over on the right front a little bit, and it was starting to burn up the right front too. So after the first pit stop, I'm tried to keep it lower, like in the first groove, first half of the groove. So
Sound good, Adam? You got anything you'd like to ask Mister Brandon right here?
Well, the only thing I got to ask is just to make sure that you and I were thinking correctly during the race. You have hometown as PGH. Would that be Pittsburgh, PA, or where would that be?
yeah, it's Pittsburgh.
Shoo, I guessed it right. All right, Brandon. So, floor is yours, my man. Great win tonight. Momentum going into Indianapolis next week in the playoffs. Who makes it all possible for you, bud?
Just thanks to Andrew for putting this league on. You guys for stepping in on such short notice. The SRM guys, we're thinking of them. There's a reason why I didn't do a burnout tonight. That was for Tony, just to kind of tribute to him, not burning it down or anything like that. That's about it.
All right, we appreciate it. You have a great night, my man. There's your winner, Brandon Puffenbarger. And Adam, great race we saw tonight, right? I mean, guys kept it clean. These things are hard to drive. Any final thoughts you got for the race tonight?
No, it was just great racing. Congratulations again to our winner, Brandon Puffenbarger. Barger, however you say it last name, I'll figure it out sooner or later. But yeah, great racing, great strategy calls tonight. It just sometimes some strategies they're hard to pinpoint exactly how to run your strategies because in practice you might be thinking one way, and race starts, you see others running a tiny bit different strategy, and your strategy plan goes out the window.
Yeah, I noticed as well, but it was a great race tonight. We were happy to fill in for Sim Racing Media as they have the loss of Tony Trapasso there. I hope it's Trapasso or Trapazzo. Terrible loss. We are super happy to do it. And until next time, catch these guys next week. We don't know if we'll be here, so we're assuming Sim Racing Media will be back with you. But we appreciate it. For Adam Flieger for the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, my name is Michael McKinnon, and we will catch you later on the flip.